Fake fruit! Fake! Fake! Fake grapefruits! Fake! Liar! You liar!
Well, it is Cinco de Mayo. I prefer to call it Cinco de SHTF. It did hit the fan this weekend, folks. Everywhere, there's evidence everywhere. It's coming everywhere. I hope you're prepared in every way. Welcome back. I appreciate you all being here. The show is just starting. We're going to get somewhere between 400 and 600 people live at every point tonight. That's the goal. That's what we're shooting at. Hell, if we do better than that, even better yet. But it's up to you guys to make this show great. I'm just a guy. I'm just a very white, blonde smartass who also loves freedom, liberty, and the American way. And I'm glad you're here to share it with me. We've also got Uman and Jolene as moderators, administrators, caretakers, and life breakers. Is there a heartbreak in there somewhere too? I don't fucking know anymore. Still, this is Sunday Night Live. It is the zoo, meaning we have the preparedmind.club, subscribestar.com, and YouTube. We got 3 setups here, and I want to thank everyone. You know, they're really screwing up the internet, folks. They're trying to destroy Rumble, BitChute, and other ways for social media to grow. They're trying to silence X, Twitter, right? Instagram is going nowhere. Facebook sucks it. But they don't like the fact that you and we actually communicate very, very well. We communicate our ideas, our thoughts very, very well. And in a lot of cases, very funny, very factual, and it stings and triggers those fruitcakes on the left. So, Sunday Night Live, let's kick it off. Let's get to, folks, this is your show. It's your show, Sunday night. You guys, as much as you want to get involved, can get your questions here on the screen, as much as you want. Now, every week, it seems like Darcy T and Chin Music get to the front of the line by doing big old super chats. But it is your super chat donations. There's a button right up there, super chat, or down below. Let's see, we got CashApp, Venmo, and PayPal. So those are your other options for getting up into here. But that super chat button is the big one. It's the big one that most people know. So what are we going to do? Mr. Uman, I think we're going to start out with Chin Music on this fine Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May, the 5th of SHTF. Where do we got that guy? Mr. Chin is Chin Music. And he says, as the polls continue to show the Democrats that they have little chance in November, the public will understand this one is outside the cheat margins. So what you dish, you're going to have to back up. You went too fast on me, man. Jolene. One more time. So what dish do you think they will order off of the SHTF menu they've created? Well, number one, Chin Music has done a $102.23 super chat donation. That's a 223 with a $100 bill behind it. Now there's a special a SHTF special for today, but I believe Chin Music says that they have multiple options. I have 6 bets out now at $100 that we will have one of the following: a contested election, no election at all, or government created emergency locking us down in some way. The Democrats are talking way too confident given the current environment. Many have said Trump will not be reelected. How do they know? Thoughts? And that's 2 shots of scotch for you, Tiny. Well, Tiny says, I got a bottle of Glenlivet 15 single malt scotch. I'll take those 2 shots to wet my whistle, lubricate the old mental gears, and I will give you my answer to what's happening. This one is for you, Chin Music, my friend. This is for America. This is for all that is good, glorious, free, and virtuous. Semper Fi. There's one. And now let's do the two. And then we will get some answers out. I almost said the B word. Anyways, Chin Music wants 2 shots of scotch, $50 a shot. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it because this really helps get me go. Oh, Semper Fi, God bless America. Let's get to it. Good golly, like mother's milk. Mr. Uman, can I see the question? Let's start with number 1. We had a question there. The public is understanding this and seeing that the margin Trump has is so big, they're going to have a hell of a time cheating their way out of it. People see that. People see that. So you say, what dish do you think they will serve? We'll go to the next page. Off the SHTF menu they have crafted. Remember, it's their SHTF menu, so they get to choose. Now, you've got $100 on 6 different bets: contested election, no election, or government-created false flag. I'll tell you what. Today, I was at a Cinco de Mayo, and it was probably a 4-to-1 Republican to Democrat gathering of business associates. And everyone knows whose politics is whose. But a concern that was spoken to me was Trump getting assassinated. Trump getting assassinated. Now, the idea of contested election, no matter what, everyone is going to contest that. And that came up today in my discussions with people. And I was telling Uman, look, I didn't have to say shit. This was interesting. Normally, I got to like I got to chum the water a little, get someone to start nibbling on the chum and then hook them into a conversation. Today, I just had my drink and sat back. They did it all by themselves, folks. And these are seasoned business professionals doing $1 million plus business deals all the time. People you would think of as quiet, reserved, protecting their integrity, not wanting to ruin business. They didn't give a fuck. Now, contested election, I heard, and it was confirmed around the table, around the pool, if you will, no matter who wins and who loses, everyone's going to scream cheat. Now, no election at all. That is possible, folks, with a, shall we say, an attack on America. It has to be a very large terror attack on Washington, D.C., or a nuclear war. Doesn't have to be huge, folks. 1 or 2 nukes flowing here and there. Hey, we got to stop everything. This is way too dangerous. That right there. Now, I don't, that's a really interesting idea, Chin Music, that the margin of victory is so huge they won't be able to cheat their way out of this. Democrats right now are very, very, very discouraged. None of them are excited. None of them like their odds. None of them like what's happening. None of them like the way the country's going. None of them like the open border, even though they try to defend it like fucking morons. None of them like all the illegal immigrants getting money. In fact, that came up. And one guy turned bright fucking red and said, I don't like the fact that these illegals are getting taken care of and veterans are being ignored. And everyone just shut the fuck up. It was great. And then, of course, funding wars in other countries that no one has ever heard of, no one gives a fuck about. That's not what we're concerned about here at home. Now, geopolitics, yeah, of course, those are wars. They get a lot of geopolitical attention. Here in Main Street America, they don't give a fuck about Ukraine or Russia. It's what business are we doing to keep our fucking lives going, keep our economy going, right? Yeah, I guess if you're Jewish, you give a lot of shit about Israel. But for the most part, hey, what are you going to do about Israel if business here dies? They don't care. They don't care. Now, my number one, though, Chin Music, is assassination. That's my number one way that they can defeat Republicans, defeat Trump, defeat America, is because there is so much resting on the shoulders of Trump. He is the only candidate that excites the entire nation. The only candidate in this election cycle, because he is so powerful, in their face, not giving up, not quitting, etc. Taking fucking arrows from every direction, right, and coming back stronger. You don't see that a whole lot. Well, you don't see it ever. Once again, Trump is a once-in-a-generation president, the way Reagan was a once-in-a-generation president. And before Reagan, there wasn't a once-in-a-generation president. Well, I don't know who you want to pick. JFK if you're a Democrat, or Ike as a Republican. In any event, any way you look at it, assassination would dishearten Republicans. There's no candidate to replace Trump, period. My next biggest pick for how the fuck do they stop us from taking the presidency, not the country, not the deep state, not the bureaucracy, but just the presidency back, I think would have to be a major false flag in Washington, D.C., so that they could postpone things. That's my pick for that. And then, of course, that would be your no election at all because of a false flag. That's my pick. Those are my two picks. They're going to have to kill Trump at this point, because Biden, by the day, is losing support. They have no political platform. It's keep the border open, molest children, fuck up the military, and send our money to other countries to fight war and launder money for the politicians to enrich themselves with foreign offshore bank accounts. Fuck you, Washington, D.C. They really are assholes, folks. And I'm not going to pull punches on it. I'm not. Now, I think I've done a good job of offending the left with my language and my colorful adjectives, etc. So, I don't have to go all the way all the time, but here we are. Folks, we're in that, and we're asking these types of questions because it's that crazy. Now, that was Chin Music. Thank you for the $100 super chat donation to kick this thing off. And now we're going to move to, Darcy T checks in. And she's got a $50 super chat and another great question. And that's what makes the zoo such a good show, is you guys get to pick some just amazing questions to roll with. So Darcy T, thank you for the great support. Thank you to everybody for showing up. Hit that thumbs up button, down the hatch, Semper Fi. Woo! Okay, that's 3. Darcy has this to say. She says, it's clear that outside influencers were funding and running the college campus riots. That's correct. George Soros and other NGOs are being pointed at as the sponsors and financial backers and supporters. Additionally, there were influencers. We call them terrorists. Well, they like to be fancy. And okay, let's use a fancy word, agents provocateur. Let's see, they caught one woman who is the wife of a known terrorist. In another country, right, a terrorist doctor, he's a doctor, right? He's got a degree. Wow, he's a doctor, right? Is doing all he can to communicate, to send orders into America to these Hamas Palestinian scumbags. Now, they've got other Palestinian and jihadish scumbags in colleges around the country. They also have a whole lot of people who just walked across the border, or Biden flew them into this country, like the criminal sack of shit that he is. And these terrorists are on college campuses. So these are funders and influencers, agents provocateur, trying to gin up violence, to make people mad, to convince them that they need to go to war against the people of the United States because they can't fucking behave well enough. My entire life, when I was a young man, Yasser Arafat of the PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization, the PLO, they didn't have terror names back then, even though they were fucking terrorists. But the PLO, and he would meet, Yasser Arafat would meet and try and come to peace terms. That's all bullshit. Anyways, Darcy T says, what are the odds that they will get off scot-free, even though we have people incarcerated, that would be the January 6th protesters, for their participation in the Nothing Burger event of January 6, 2021. Well, I'll tell you what the odds are of these terrorists, terrorist spouses, terrorist supporters, terrorist influencers, terrorist agents provocateur. The odds of them getting off scot-free, in my opinion, 99.5%, Darcy, 99.5%. They may catch one and say, aha, the FBI will run up and go, we'll take credit for this. We're the FBI. We caught a real terrorist, so we saved America. That'll be the one guy or girl that's a real terrorist that gets caught for what they're doing. But as far as the people who are funding the George Soroses, no, they're not going to get in trouble. No, not a chance. I believe not a chance. Should they? That's an entirely different question. All enemies, foreign and domestic. If you're an enemy and you're a foreigner in the country, you're now a domestic terrorist. You need to go to jail or, well, suffer a far worse fate than that. By the way, I'm going to mention that I brought this because it's Cinco de Mayo. If anyone does a $100 or more super chat donation and asks for it, I'll do a tequila shot. Familia Camarena Tequila, silver brand. Anyways, $100 or more. Otherwise, $50 scotches and tiny. Chin Music said he wanted to do two, so I stuck with the scotch for his. But yeah, that's $100 super chat does tequila, and tequila makes me crazy. Get this crazy eyes. Get my Jack Sparrow eyes. Anyways, let's continue if we shall, folks. The evidence is in that, yes, they're trying to destroy this country. We're at 300 people live right now. Share that internet address. 300 people live already. Hit the thumbs up. Do it. Share that internet address and get it out there. Tell people to wake the hell up. Now, the U.S. Military Academy has brought into the educational curriculum for military officers woke horseshit. It is now canonized or on print. There's courses on cross-dressing in the military. There's courses on gender norms, representation in the ranks, and of course, deconstructing patriotism. What the fuck do any of those things mean? Well, cross-dressing in the military means men can dress like women and you can't say a fucking word about it. You show me a military anywhere else on the planet that wants to have cross-dressing, I'll show you a military that will get eaten in 5 seconds alive. Gender norms. What the fuck is that? Haven't we had enough of, well, the administration and Pentagon officers wearing puppy masks in uniform for their sick little perverted monkeypox parties? Gender norms. There's a gender norm out there. There's one gender norm. Men have dicks, women have vaginas. And now representation in the ranks. That's a nice way of saying we need to put you, fruitcake, somewhere where there's no other fruitcakes and make everyone else have to fucking deal with you so that we can get them kicked out. And then, of course, deconstructing patriotism. Well, you're supposed to build patriotism in America and especially in the military, but they want to deconstruct it, take it apart. What is patriotism? Well, it doesn't have anything to do with anal fucking your partner in a foxhole during a battle. That is not patriotism. Deconstructing is taking it apart, ruining it, destroying it. Right? They want to make patriotism what they say. No, it's putting country first, putting God first, putting your family first above anything you want. Not putting your gender ideology and your fucking rainbow flag fruitcake stuff ahead of the nation. And we need to destroy it. I mean, this is what they're doing, folks. That is absolute proof that Biden, it's absolute proof that Democrats want the military to be a worthless social sexual experiment. It's going to take more than F-15s or F-16s or F-18s or F-22s for this military now to win any war. And every war has always taken boots on the ground at the front line, period. You can bomb the shit out of everything you want and it won't win a war. It won't. Well, unless you want to go nuclear. If you want to go nuclear, you're going to have to go all the way. All right. Here we go. We got through the first couple of super chats. I am well lubricated. What do you guys want to talk about? What's on your mind? I have just heard right before the show, I was talking with Uman and Pow. This pops up. There is a new terrorist group out there. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Have you guys heard about this? What do you want to talk about? Hit the super chat button. I'm going to tell you about ISIS-K. That's right, ISIS-K. It's more than ISIS or ICE. It's more than Al-Qaeda or Hezbollah or Hamas. How many terror organizations do we need, folks? Right? I guess the FBI can't keep up with the college idiot terror groups out there and do anything about it, much less deal with another CIA startup terrorist group. And I've got a question for the Central Intelligence Agency. Will you ever keep control of the lunatics that you fund and then train, and then they just go off and do whatever the hell they want? Right? Now, the CIA are a bunch of asshole commies, in my opinion. John Brennan, hello. Right? He's a convert. He's a communist. And all they do is create terror groups. And then they end up, what? Attacking everybody. So, I mean, what is there a problem with ISIS or ICE? Is there a problem with these other terror groups? Are they too warm and fucking fuzzy? Now we need ISIS-K? It's almost like Cerveza bug. They're like COVID, and then they're like, no, we need a variant. We need the Delta variant. So now they're calling this the ISIS variant, ISIS-K. Delta, the Omicron. We need to make it sound like it's from Transformers. They're fucking assholes, folks. This is propaganda. It's horseshit. Okay, ISIS-K, bring it on. Come to America if that's your fucking deal. Or France or England or wherever the hell you're at. Get it out there. Let's get it on. Quit hiding, you bunch of pussies. And that's the deal. They're a bunch of pussies. They will not fight out in the open. They're not an army in the traditional sense. They're chicken shits. Right now, someone might say, well, John, the American patriots, they were chicken shits. Well, really? Yeah, they did the Boston Tea Party. What could be considered an act of terror, except it was not against civilian people. When you attack civilian population in an effort to change political support by violence or threats of violence, that's terror. When you attack a government, that is not terrorism. That is fighting a government. Make that clear in your heads, folks. Understand that. It's very important. So when the patriots in the United States of America fought against King George, that was not terrorism, even though the government in their deconstructing patriotism classes would love to make that fucking case. There's no one there offering a contradictory opinion. So these fucking skulls full of mush inside these officers' heads as they sit in fucking West Point and Annapolis and Boulder, Colorado, with their thumbs in their asses or who knows what, thinking, yeah, the American patriots, they were terrorists. No, they weren't. They were freedom fighters fighting against a government, not terrorizing the civilian population. Make that fucking clear. Make it really clear. What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind? Right? What's on your mind? Oh, yeah, back to, I'm sorry, I almost forgot. We'll get to your super chats. Hang on. These terrorists might say, well, the patriots of America, they were terrorists. No, they weren't. They did do small attacks. They did the Boston Tea Party and things like it. They did screw around with the Redcoats, and then they did Lexington and Concord, but they eventually met the British Army on the battlefields. and from battlefield to battlefield and area to area, attacking them every chance they could. The Patriots did not attack civilians. They're not terrorists in the sense that terrorists are out there today hiding behind women and children in mosques, in hospitals, and schools. They're fucking chicken shits. All right. Let's make this your show, folks. Over 300 people here live. Let's get it on. Share the message. Thumbs up. Share the internet. Jolene, who's doing the super chat next? And it's Nancy Keg with a $10 super chat donation. And she says, we all have LCE in our future. Take care. Stay safe. Semper Fi to you. Semper Fi to you, Nancy. Our futures are kind of crazy, unpredictable. What I have in my future is an understanding that I'm going to be risking everything. You know, I guess that's the price you end up paying, is to risk everything, right? What did the founding fathers risk? Their lives, their families, and their fortunes. They were willing to risk all of that, all their money, their families, and their lives. They put everything on the line to gain freedom. That freedom which has been loosely held on to, or maybe mostly held on to with fingernails and teeth for the last 250 years. Until now, the last 30 years especially, we've been under an attack from a vociferous enemy within our own government that's been bought and paid for. Bought and paid for. Now, I mentioned earlier, thank you, Nancy Keg, very, very much. I mentioned earlier that there isn't a whole lot of love and support for Joe Biden because there's no real platform. He can't remember anything. He's crapping his pants as he walks around in front of the camera. Literally. You could just tell he's stopping and crapping his pants. This guy is a train wreck. Now, they're going to need to replace him. I believe it was an economist, an analyst at JP Morgan Bank, said that Biden will be gone sometime between Super Tuesday and, of course, Election Day. Well, Super Tuesday is come and gone, and Joe is continuing to crap his pants. So they need to replace him. Are there any Democrat presidential hopefuls out there? Well, you're not going to believe this, but there was one, and then, she had to drop out. It was none other than a Wisconsin elementary school teacher. She was going to run for president, but then she had to drop out because she's been arrested, folks, for making out with a 5th grade student. Her fiance called the wedding off and said, this is a quote, "It's fucked up that she cheated with a little kid." Another typical Democrat. In her mid-20s. Yeah, well, she's not old enough to be president anyways, but hell, Barack Obama wasn't born in the fucking country. He got to be president. Kamala Harris, I don't believe, was born in the country either, but, they're just rules. Rules are meant to be broken when you're a Democrat. What do they care? Unbelievable. Seriously. All righty. It is Sunday Night Live. What do you guys want to talk about? I've got a ton of stuff to talk about. Your chance is the super chat button to get things up on screen and see what it is. But you do that, and we'll get your comment here and make you famous. Now, the deal is this show, I'm the face of the show, and sometimes Mr. Ooman, sometimes, when I can talk him into coming on screen, all right? But this is your show. It's not just my thoughts. Your questions, your comments, your thoughts, making it onto the screen, they're very important. Very important because it shows the rest of the viewers. And by the time this video is done, we're at 350 people live right now, but by the time it's done, there will have been thousands of people who watched. And those thousands of people, you guys all, talk to lots of other people and say, wake up, wake the fuck up, look at what's happening and get prepared. And so you, by getting your questions here, You let everyone know it's not just one guy, it's all of us talking and sharing ideas, thoughts, and our quest for freedom and our love for the country and our patriotism in general. Jolene, who wants to step up next? Who do we have? And it is Chin Music again with a $9.99 super chat donation. And he says, FYI, for your information, your super chat bounty is almost exclusively from the great Republic of Texas. Just saying. John Brennan will bring ISIS MK Ultra. Good times ahead. All right, let's deconstruct Mr. Chin Music stuff here. Super chat bounty is almost exclusively from the great Republic of Texas. Just saying, look, we got a lot of, Chin Music and Darcy are in Texas. Now, we got some great subscribers and some great supporters that fund our efforts from the United Kingdom, right? Either England and Scotland, also Ireland. We do have some great people down in the country of Australia down under, up in Canada. But yeah, Texas, God bless Texas, I got to tell you. Freedom, folks, from Florida to Texas. From North Carolina across to Oklahoma, the South is very strong. But you said John Brennan is going to bring in ISIS. That's right. John Brennan, former communist, convert to Islam, former CIA director, works for the mainstream media as their Operation Mockingbird in-your-face mole sack of shit. Bald-headed crybaby pussy is what he is. Anyways, John Brennan, are you a coward? Fucking meet me at a fucking coffee shop. I'll sit down and talk to you, you sack of shit. Seriously. Oh, you can tell me how important you are and how the CIA has saved the world. Well, fuck you. You killed JFK. You've done far worse than that, I bet. Anyways, back to what they want to do. They want to bring ISIS to America. Folks, ISIS is already here. In my opinion, ISIS is already in the United States of America. The Islamic State is already here in America. They've come across the border. They've flown them in on planes, and they're waiting to be activated. Are they going to be activated on college campuses? No. No, these guys are funded and trained and positioned intelligently. They're not going to go off on college campuses. I'm sure they're going to go off in a way that is more beneficial to the traitors, the Obamas, the Clintons, Brennan, it's his little private army, and then MK Ultra. Now that is mind control, propaganda, population control. That's what MK Ultra is. Started in the 1950s, and it has not gone away, even though the name may have or have not been changed. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There are good times ahead, Chin Music. And I just can't help but remember the boot camp indoctrination I got as a Marine to prepare us to go fight, to have the mindset. We're ministers of death, right? Packing souls or packing heaven with fresh souls. Right, praying for war so we can help people find the promised land or whatever land it is they're supposed to go to. Right, it's gonna get crazy, folks. Now, listen. Once again, today I'm at a gathering, Cinco de Mayo, just having a good time, having some tacos, having some tequila-drenched watermelon. Right, having a good time. Just some business friends who wanted to gather and get together. Oh, I got you now, Chin. I got you. I got your super chats comment that you just sent me. Listen, I'm with business people. These are people who are serious about real estate, construction, one of the major economic sectors in the country. And they just said, look, we're veterans. We all know it. We all own lots of guns. We all have lots of ammunition. And just fucking try it. It'll be easy to take the day off and go out and stomp the living shit out of any of these fucking foreigners that come to this country. And this, look, again, I didn't have to say shit. I just sat there and listened to them say, there's so many fucking vets in our state and our sector. We don't just have fucking platoons, right? We have regiments. We have battalions everywhere of people. Even though we're old and slow, we know what we're doing. Anyways, I really appreciated those comments from these guys, and they're shaking their head like, yeah, right. Well, let's see, when you're young, the government supplies you with guns and ammo. When you get older, you supply yourself with really good guns and a lot of quality ammo and optics. We may be slow, but we know what the fuck we're doing. It's gonna get nasty, folks, because the left is promising it. Now, the CIA with this ISIS-K, that's a promise that more terror is coming. They're threatening us, right? President Biden with his, you're going to need an F-16 because we got nuclear bombs, right? All this shit chiding Americans, right? You're going to need more than AR-15s. Don't worry. We got you covered there, Prez. Right? They're always threatening us and trying to take away our rights. You think we haven't got the fucking clue, the heads up? Yes, we have. Anyways, Chin Music sent me a thing, and he says, hey, I'm bragging about Texas, and I'm just letting you know the gist of what he was saying. He's like, Texas steps up in the super chats. He's chiding everyone on. He's letting everyone know, come on, step up. Join Texas in the super chat. See if you can beat Texas. Everything's big in Texas. Anyways, I love you, Chin Music. You're awesome, man. I love everyone everywhere. You guys do a great deal for this show to make sure we stay here. Whew. And it's coming, folks. More shit. Let's do this. Jolene, Mr. Uman, who's up next? And we've got Dan Erickson with a $5 super chat donation. He says, my pronouns are MAGA supporter and patriotic American. You don't like that? Fuck you. There's a Cinco de SHTF shot across their bow. That's right. You want my pronoun? It's American Patriot. I love that. Or patriotic American, as Dan Erickson has said. You want my pronoun? Look, there's two genders, man and woman. Those are your choices out there. So your pronouns, right, are he and she. Those are your options. This they and this plural shit and weird shit, they're, fuck them. I love that you say it. If you don't like that, then fuck you. That's not for me, folks. It's not for you. It's for them. Understand who they are. Understand what they are doing. I mean, okay, we got two things here. And I appreciate your great support, Dan. Okay. The Republican conservative governor of Florida has declared war. I think I like the way that news article is written, on lab-grown meat. Now, I talked about this the other day. A lab is a laboratory. A laboratory is where you perform scientific experiments. You perform scientific experiments on rats and white mice and rhesus monkeys and whatever they do with that. I am not a fucking lab rat or a rhesus monkey, right? So I don't want food that's made in a scientific experimentation. And meat comes from cows or chickens, not from a fucking machine that squirts out proteins that have been combined through chemical processes and, well, bacteria and yeast and other shit, right? So Governor DeSantis, folks, has declared war on this and says making, distributing, selling, manufacturing anything to do with lab-grown meat in this state, and you have broken the law, which means you get to go to jail. Folks, science, chemicals, laboratories produce poisons toxins, chemicals, drugs. None of those things are food. Food is food. It's an animal, it's a plant, not science experiments. So thank God for people like Governor DeSantis and Governor Abbott and other good, strong, real American politicians joining us, the real people, you and you out there. You guys are Americans. We know what's right and we know what's wrong. And there are very few fucking politicians that'll stand up and do something about it. And God bless Florida for fucking doing just that. They're getting rid of pedophiles. They're getting rid of this woke school shit, critical race theory, diversity, equity, inclusion, lab-grown fucking meats. Right? Good. I'm glad to be here in this state. But fuck all of these leftists for trying to destroy us. There, I got that off my chest. Oh, don't worry. There's more. All righty. We're almost up to 400 people live right now. Share that internet address up at the top of the screen. Text it, email it, fucking carrier pigeon, arrow. Make sure it's a safety arrow like a plunger. Don't want to hurt anybody. Right? You always got to have the safety disclaimer. Don't do anything dangerous or harmful, but own lots of guns when the communists come to attack you. All right. Jolene, Mr. Uman, where are we rolling next? Holy cow, it's our representative from Canada stepping up to the super chat challenge from Chin Music. And Boomer21 says, take that, $20 Canadian, pow. And he says, while watching the takedown of the West occur, hello, hello. There we are. While watching the takedown of the West occur in our comfort zones, the enemy will one day be at our doorsteps with a machete. Therefore, apathy is our biggest threat, but maybe not for the few or the one. That is correct. Apathy is going to have a bigger effect on the majority of people who aren't paying attention, are not intelligent, are unaware. Okay, those are the three right there. They're going to be in the most trouble, right? We all watch this from the comfort of our own homes, our chairs, our offices, our job sites, our fields, our mountains, our swamps. We're watching. And when it shows up, right, it's not going to be a problem for the few and the one, you and me, but it's going to be a problem for the rest of the country. Now, if you've got food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, folks, we'll talk medicine some more, and a means of self-defense, and if you've got training, if you've trained the mind to see what's coming, understand who the problem is and what the solution is, eliminating the enemy is the solution, by the way. You got all that lined up, and you train at the firing range. You understand the 10-mile radius around your home. You won't have any problem dealing with these fucking clowns. Because clowns they are. Now, I know if I'm sitting in my secure location, I'm in my fighting hole or in my protected position, people may be shooting out there. They may be shooting in my general direction. But are they skilled enough to hit? Right? They've got to be a better shot, a faster shot than me. And my track record has always been I'm fucking fast as fuck. Not a quick draw artist, but from shot to shot, I move very quickly. I'm not worried about me at all. Now, other people out there who just went out and bought guns and they sit on them and don't train with them, they've got no training. They are in a far more precarious position. And people who have no preparations, no guns, no food, no nothing, those are the ones that are going to be in big, big trouble, right? Because if they get close enough, yeah, they'll machete the fuck out of you. They'll chop you to pieces. They'll chop you to bits. They'll make stew out of you. And that's not going to happen to me or any of you. And that makes me very happy. Now, right? What are we going to do about the problems in front of us? Well, you got to start with yourself. Get yourself prepared. Tell family, friends, coworkers, get prepared. If you don't see this coming, your eyes aren't open. And once you open your eyes, you can't stop looking because you start seeing it. You see everything out there that's the problem, and you can't stop seeing it. Now, does it have to consume your entire life? No. Is it going to keep you from doing your job? No. Is it going to make you paranoid and keep you up and awake at night? It shouldn't. You just need to be prepared. That's all. When the time comes, there it is. But apathy, my friends, my fellow countrymen, fellow patriots all over the world, apathy kills. Right? If you lived in the African Sahara, where there's fucking cobras and lions and cheetahs and tigers and rhinoceroses that'll run your ass over, and fucking wildebeest that'll run you over, and crocodiles, not to mention spiders and bugs that'll bite the shit out of you and kill you with that. Are you just gonna, if you're in that, are you just gonna willy-nilly walk up and get a drink of water out of the river? Are you just gonna meander on through the desert? Not the desert, the wilds of Africa? No. Well, if you do, you'll get killed in less than a day. You know, you've got to know the landscape. That's what this channel is about, is understanding the political, social, economic landscape that we're facing. What is dangerous, what isn't, who is the enemy, who isn't, who are your allies, who isn't. There it is. All right, Jolene, where do we want to roll next? Mr. Uman, what's up? Who do we got? And we got Johnny Coathanger checking in as a YouTube member. A YouTube membership. Thank you, Mr. Johnny. Woo! Johnny. There it is. President Trump is out there. He was at the Grand Prix of Miami this weekend. He's down here in Florida. Grand Prix of Miami, not far from his home at Mar-a-Lago. And the crowd went apeshit, nuts, cheering on President Trump. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Not really. I'm not surprised at all. Now, President Trump did have something to say, though. He is calling for Jack Smith, who is Merrick Garland, Attorney General, and President Biden. Jack Smith is their bitch who has been charging Trump with all kinds of bullshit cases. And Trump has now called for Jack Smith to be arrested. Why? Why should Jack Smith be arrested, according to President Trump? Well, it's because he lied to the court. That's right. He lied to the court about classified documents that were seized at the raid of Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. He lied to the court, folks. That's perjury. But at this fucking level, with the charges against a president of the United States, the penalty for this perjury by not just a witness, not just an investigator, but by the prosecutor himself, who should have the highest regard and knowledge for the law. With the charges against the president, the penalty for perjury at this level by a prosecutor should be a firing squad or hanging. And I am dead serious. Because it stabs at the heart of our republic to do such a thing. One of these dumb fucking morons out there, folks, and understand, there's dumb fucking morons in DC, they're also in your state, they're in your town, and they're even in your fucking neighborhood. They just all don't have the same power. But they're there, and they're willing to cause trouble and bring their stupidity right into your face. Be prepared. That's all we've got to be, is prepared. Be cool, be calm, but understand they're out there. Now, Trump, right, is calling for him to be arrested. At this level, there is no excuse for Jack Smith, right? Either if Trump has committed a crime, you don't have to lie. If Trump has not committed a crime, then they have to start lying. They have to manufacture evidence. They have to threaten witnesses to make them testify against the president. If they had anything on Trump, it would be out on the table, clear as day. And that's why they don't have my support, because this prosecution is fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. Now, here's the other thing. The other day, they said, well, there's no precedent for President Trump to try and ask for immunity. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Of course there is. There's 250 years of court cases and trials and information. Trump is not the first one. You know, some fucking moron said, Trump is the first president to try and exercise political immunity. No, presidential immunity. No, sorry. I was like, dude, I even answered it. And I don't answer a lot of people's stupid comments, but they're that fucking stupid. I was like, if there's no precedent, then how can they say that they need to prosecute him? That his presidential immunity doesn't stand or withstand the tests. Well, those tests are based on precedent, former cases. I said, and besides that, why don't you go ask President Bill Clinton about all his claims of presidential immunity so he wouldn't be prosecuted or get in trouble? You see, that's all they have are fucking lies. Whether it's Jack Smith, Merrick the Buttlick Garland, Joe, I just crap my pants Biden, Obama, I'm going to go play with the sausage man, woman in my life, Michael, right? These people, if they had truth, if they had facts, if they had crimes, there'd be no question. But instead, that's all we get is hyperbole, lies, manufactured crap, propaganda, etc. Unbelievable. Thank you, Jolene. It's your turn to talk, folks. What's on your mind? Super chat donation buttons right up there. We've had Chin Music throw down the gauntlet and challenge every other state. He says Texas does the most to support the prepared mind. Hard to argue with that, but we're going to find out. You guys have all been great. I know we've got some other people that are probably going to contest that. It's all good stuff, though, folks, in good fun, but we are preparing for something very, very real indeed. Real, folks. The world we're in is real. In fact, I've got this. This came through from Mr. Skylight. Let's see if it pops up here. Come on there. Let's go, Mr. Computer. Gotta love the internet, folks. Remember when there was a time when there was no internet? If you wanted something, you'd have to go to a newspaper or listen to it. Anyways, this is about the World Economic Forum. And the final goal is to eradicate humanity as we know it. Once you understand the final destination, it becomes much easier to look back and identify the psychological conditioning, the biological tampering, and the cultural grooming and the educational prepping that we have been subjected to for decades in preparation to making us accept the post-human future. And this person listed a few items: trans madness, vax mandates, mass illegal immigration, riots, two-tiered justice system, homelessness, green energy. And I'll tell you what, I mean, we cover that and more here. There's no doubt, folks, they're trying to destroy all of humanity. And the one country that is most capable of standing in the way is the United States of America. And behind us and with us is Canada and Australia and the United Kingdom and then Europe. But all of us, all of the governments I just named, have one issue, and that is our own government being populated by sellout, bribed, and extorted politicians. All righty, Jolene, we're sitting right under 400 people live. If you haven't done it already, hit that thumbs up. Who is up next? Right here. And it is Mr. Skylight back again with a $19.99 super chat donation. And I believe Mr. Skylight is out on the West Coast. West Coast, not Texas. West Coast. And he says, quote, "A person often meets his destiny on the road. His destiny on the road he took to avoid it. That was by Jean de La Fontaine, a French poet living in the 1600s, folks. Now let's read the quote again and think about it. A person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it. In other words, you cannot escape your destiny. That almost sounds like something from Star Wars. And Luke Skywalker, or idiot Mark Hamill, the actor, because yesterday was May the 4th. So the joke of May the 4th be with you, right, came out. Well, how appropriate that someone who with a lisp, right, May the 4th, has been hanging out in the White House putting his nose in the asses of Karine Jean-Pierre and President Biden. But enough of that, because this isn't a George Lucas saying. This comes from Jean de La Fontaine. And he says, a person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it. In other words, so many times we set out and we go, oh shit, I got to deal with that, but I don't want to deal with it. I'm going to go this way instead. And so you go a different direction, down another road, trying to avoid your destiny, and you meet it anyways. You meet it anyways. Don't try and avoid our destiny. You cannot avoid it. It is coming for us. The path is set in front of us. The only thing we haven't done is fulfilled our destinies yet. It is coming, and that is why I say, don't hide from your destiny, our destiny. We all share it. It is not just about our individual lives and getting a promotion or starting a business. Our destiny is bigger than that, folks. Maybe a couple of generations ago, they didn't have to worry about the rest of the world. Just do your own thing. But I believe I have a destiny. I always have. I went to the RMZ, folks. I left mainland America off to a foreign world, completely foreign to me. And was I trying to avoid my destiny? Well, you could make an argument that I was. You could make that argument that I was avoiding dealing with people, avoiding dealing with America, avoiding all kinds of stuff, but I couldn't. Right? The road that I traveled brought me right back here, and I was like, I know where I want to be. I want to be in the South. I want to be in the United States of America to fight this fight, to meet my destiny. We all should do it. And folks, by being right here on the internet, fighting, being loud, out on the street, in front of your house, at your work, at the supermarket, at wherever you go, that is your road, your destiny, your purpose. Live it like you mean it. You got one chance in life to live like the man that you are or the woman that you are. We are all humans. We are all men. We are all part of mankind, if you will. This whole idea that, well, women are not men, so you have to, I get it. Anyways, that was a really good one, Mr. Skylight. I appreciate you bringing up another French philosopher / poet. He's also done Voltaire in the past, folks. Thank you, Mr. Skylight. Let's see. Where do we want to roll next? What have we got? We've got Opie Waddell checking in with a $5 super chat donation. And he says, hey, y'all, come see us. Crunchabunchacandy.com. Use the code, oh, yeah, and save big. Opie Waddell did some freeze-dried candy. I believe it was Crunch a Bunch of Candy. Anyways, why are we doing a candy ad here on the Prepared Mind channel? Well, I really believe candy is important in the fight against evil. And I'm not joking. Candy is important in the battle against the New World Order, against the World Economic Forum. Candy is an important battle against everything. Having a rough day, shit has hit the fan. You got communists running all over the country, killing people. You got terrorists running all over the planet, killing people. Take time, have a fucking Snickers, right? Satisfies. Take time, have a Kit Kat, have a fucking Tootsie Roll. Have some Crunch a Bunch of Candy from crunchabunchacandy.com, right? That would be a prepper, Opie Waddell. Support his business is good. I don't mind that. But here, right, we've got the depourable coffee, right? That's Cafe Fe right? Patriotic stuff. Candy, coffee, scotch, alcohol. Folks, when it hits the fan and it gets nasty, what are you going to have? There we are. Thank you, Jolene. That internet address right there will get you whatever discount is available, and it is damn good coffee. I drink it every single day, and it makes me big and strong. It makes me big and strong. Anyways, you need candy. You need coffee. Tobacco, cigars, chewing tobacco. Look, whatever it is that you fucking like that makes you feel better and relax as a treat, right? I don't drink all week long. I'm not a giant fucking alcoholic. Sunday nights I spend with you guys, and I have my scotch. Right? I have other drinks during the week, and I'm not a raging alcoholic, but I'll tell you what, when it gets nasty and bad out there, what is alcohol? It's an antidepressant, or it's a sleep aid, or it's a painkiller, or it's a disinfectant. What is candy? It's an antidepressant, right? Makes you feel good, makes you happy. It's a stimulant. Enough on that. Take care of yourselves, right? Take care of yourselves. Now, I want to finish up with President Trump and how he went after Jack Smith, right? Well, he went after other idiots in the left, right? President Trump kind of had an America, fuck yeah, type of day, right? He called Jack Smith a fucking asshole during a Mar-a-Lago speech where he lit everyone up. He mocked fat ass Fannie Willis. Letitia James is a sack of shit, folks. Erdogan, Merchant, and can't even remember the other fucking stupid judge's name. She's an idiot. But anyways, he went after a bunch of them. I love that he called Jack Smith a fucking asshole. When Trump is president, he needs to name a real attorney general and publicly state as he nominates him and says, this man will uphold the law, and if he doesn't, I'm going to fire his fucking ass in a New York second. And everyone knows how long that is. It's about that fucking long, right? There's not going to be any fucking around this time with Senator Fuckstick or Fat Ass Barr. So Senator Fuckstick was Jeff Sessions, first attorney general. He was a piece of shit. And then Bob Barr, sack of shit. Oh, Bob Barr, the sack of shit, is now sucking up to Trump. That tells you how good the odds are that Biden is a no-go. And there's no one better than Biden, or they would have replaced him already. You see, that's the problem. There's no one better than Biden. And what is Biden? He's a fucking liar. He's a plagiarist. He was a shitty senator, shitty vice president. He's been an awful fucking president. One of the worst. Every time we get another Democrat, it's like, well, I thought Obama was the worst, and now we have this fucking clown. Before that, we thought Clinton was the worst. Wow. Anyways, Jack Smith should be tried for perjury, subornation of perjury, manufacturing evidence, lying to court, right? Fucking guy needs to have a rope around his neck, period. Anyways, America, fuck yeah. All right, Jolene. Ooh, man. Who's up next with a super chat donation? And it is Chin Music, putting Texas well in the lead with a $19.99 super chat donation. And what does he have to say? Remember, this is your show, folks. You guys get to direct it. I just read your words and then talk about them. He says, this is what Chin says. Since you mentioned media propaganda this week, there was a battle for regime bootlicking champion between Howard Stern and Drew Barrymore. Oh, good God. This is nauseating, Chin. Nauseating, man. Stern called Joe Biden the national father. Howard Stern is a fucking turd. And then on top of that, Drew Barrymore called Camel Toes Harris Mamola. And Chin Music says, look, I wish I was lying. He's not lying, folks. How could Howard Stern call Joe fucking Biden the national father. He's the national pedophile. He's the national hair sniffer. He's the national groper. He's the national... Are you ready for this? Remember Tara Reid, the woman who said she was sexually assaulted by Joe back in 1996? If you saw pictures of her back then, she was a hottie. She was good looking. She's dumb as a box of fucking rocks if she's a Democrat, but she was good looking. No wonder Joe raped her. Sexually assaulted her. Allegedly sexually assaulted her. No. You can't just say because someone's good looking that they need to be sexually assaulted or groped or rubbed or sniffed or chased or harassed. But that's what Democrats do, folks. That's what Joe Biden does. So that's our father, the man who showered with his own daughter, who was so traumatized by this fucking freak, right, that she wrote it in her diary that she was very uncomfortable, folks, and more, because her daddy decided to step in the shower when she was a little girl. 10, 12, whatever. That's fucking disgusting. That's the national father. And then, folks, I saw it. I watched it. I was disgusted. Chin Music's not lying. Drew Barrymore in her show. And by the way, she is aging like milk that has been in the sun all day. Drew Barrymore sucked up to and kissed Camel Toes Harris's ass so bad that I think it even embarrassed Kamala Harris. The cackling witch of stupidity, right? Calling her Mamola, trying to make her sound like she is some sort of maternal figure, right? The woman who got her political positions secured by working from her knees under the desks of men. Oh my goodness. That's right, folks. Incompetent on top of incompetent on top of incompetent Kamala Harris. She was, the highest position she held was Attorney General in California. Not that that's not an important position, but she has no executive experience. Her experience? Putting black men in prison for having marijuana in the state of California and denying them to get them out of prison. You would think as a Democrat, loving to let criminals go free, that Kamala Harris would be the person to do that, especially in the state of California, that lawless republic. It's more like the People's Republic of communist formula, California. In any event, right? No, she was exceptionally harsh. But, Democrats love her. They love her. Anyways, I wish you were lying too, Chin Music, but you're not. Thanks for the great donation. Texas is clearly in the lead. And folks, we're at 400 people live right now, right there, hitting it. Mine says 400. What does yours say? Folks, share the internet address up there. Make sure you've hit the thumbs up button. Make sure your family knows we're talking SHTF right now. It is Cinco de SHTF, and it has hit the fan 5 times over. 5 times over. Jolene, ooh, man. Who's up next? Oh, good God. Woo! All right, here we are. Dan Erickson is going with a Cinco de Mayo tequila shot. He says, I bought $500 in Tesla stock in 2012. Made bank on that one. Now have that tequila, soldier. Oh, Nelly. Folks, tequila, I cannot make any promises what happens from here. I cannot make any promises. I could go complete Incredible Hulk on you guys. Holy shit. All right. Thank you, Dan Erickson. Tequila, man. It's like a boost of mRNA. You don't know what it's going to do to you. All right. Thank you very much, man. Yeah. Now, 500 in Tesla stock in 2012. I have no idea what Tesla stock cost in 2012. But I do know that between then and now, then it's worth a whole lot more. Yeah, I don't know what 500 would buy you between now and then. I mean, is it 10x? Is it 20x? No fucking idea. In any event, I'm glad you did and that you benefited from your investment. Risking your hard-earned money, folks, in the stock market truly is quite a gamble. Quite a gamble. You know, let me, since you didn't bring a question in with that tequila, let me see if I can get this right. Parents, adults who have kids, pay somewhere between $50,000 a year and $200,000 a year to send their kids to colleges, to universities, right? And now these same parents are getting hit, right, with they've wasted their fucking money, their investment in their children, because their kids are blocked, locked out, or violently assaulted just for going to one of these incredibly expensive babysitting operations. So yeah, universities are getting bitch slapped by parents calling them up and going, "You fucking jackasses, I gave you all this money and you can't keep a couple of dozen radical idiots from fucking attacking our kids." Folks, whether the kids are Jewish or not Jewish or Christians or Catholics or Buddhists, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. You're paying money to be there, not be assaulted by these fuckheads. There is nothing about a university that has jack shit to do with real fucking life. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, I'm feeling a little green. I feel like you can feel that tequila going to work. Tesla was $2 a share in 2012. I have no idea what it is today. What is Tesla today? Okay. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. What a waste of fucking money, huh? What a waste of fucking money. Chin Music, you are correct. I know that expression, man. I know that expression. I'm rich now. That's got some inside jokes flying in the background, folks. Super chat donations is how you get your comments up here on the screen, and then we talk about them. Jolene, who is up next? What do we got going? Hey, we got Blue Cord Devil. And he says is he in Virginia? No, that's the Veterans Administration. And we've got a 5762 super chat donation, right? That's $50 plus a 7.62 millimeter. In fact, there happens to be one right there in that shot glass. And a $50 super chat donation does what? Buys me a scotch. This is a rather interesting, amusing combination. We've got Scotsmen and Mexicans fighting in my belly. Starting to sound like a Jim Brewer joke, huh? Right? Party in the stomach. Here we go. Oh, yeah. So smooth. Like mother's milk. Blue Cord Devil, thank you, sir. He says the Veterans Administration is letting healthcare providers treat veterans even after they were disqualified for safety of the veterans. Makes me worry for myself and all my brothers and sisters. Folks, the VA has been fucked up. I've had lots of discussions with people about using veterans benefits, right? Whether it's the GI Bill or VA loans for a home or Veterans Administration hospital, it always seems like you just get treated like shit or get the worst. I hate to see homeless veterans. I hate to see shit like that. I hate to see veterans turned away. When I worked in California I worked for a Native American organization for 10 years. And I had veterans working for me that were both white and Native American veterans. 2 of them were Marines. They worked for me through the tribal organization. I always hated how they were treated so piss poorly. Now, the Native Americans, for their part, were treated very well by their own people. The Veterans Administration treats everyone like shit, in my opinion. Blue Cord Devil, I wish, right, everyone was treated the way they need to be treated. You know, a lot of people have earned so much. Semper Fi to everyone, whether you're Navy, Air Force, Army, or Marine Corps, even the Coast Guard. And I think I brought it up a few times. I went to sign up with the Coast Guard as a senior in high school. No, as a junior in high school. But they would not guarantee me a duty station in San Diego or Miami. So I told them, no, thank you. I'm not going to go to Puget Sound or Alaska. All righty. Thank you, Blue Cord Devil. Great super chat donation, supporting this channel, getting the information out. Folks, it's Cinco to SHTF. What's happening in your world, Jolene? Who's up next? And we have Boomer21 back with another $20 super chat donation. Thank you again, Boomer, representing Canada from the North Corner. And he says, Brandon, meaning Joe Biden, will be bringing in over 3 million Palestinians, whereas not even their neighboring countries will take them in. This will definitely add gas to the fire. I tell you what, I don't know where you got that information. I don't know what percentage or what number of illegals are actually either Palestinian or pro-Hamas. I know they're trying to right now. I know between now and the election and then the inauguration. Right? Remember, Biden should lose the election in November, but he will not be kicked out of the fucking White House until January 21st. He's going to bring in as many of these fucking losers from other countries as he can. Now, remember, the Palestinians do not like Biden. He supports the LGBTQIA plus crowd. He supports all of them. He supports everything that is immoral and wrong. And he doesn't really support jihad or Islam. He doesn't give a shit about them. He is using them as a fucking tool. So what makes you think the Palestinians are going to vote for him? Now, what they do represent is gas on a terrorist fire. If you look at what they're doing in Europe, folks, in Spain, Italy, France, England, Scotland, Ireland. Oh, they're fucking with the Irish. Folks, the Irish are worse than the Scots in that they will fuck each other up over what religion they have. They've already had a religious civil war going in Ireland between Protestants and Catholics for decades, if not centuries. What makes you think when they actually got to get nasty? I mean, look, the term terrorist, there's Irish terrorists, folks. They attack, well, they say they're terrorists. Anyways, the Irish are not to be fucked with, period. The Irish are not to be fucked with. But there's terrorists in other countries, these Palestinians, and they're causing big trouble. Germany as well. They're really fucking Germany up. And the people are waking up to it. They want to come to America? Yeah, that's gas on the fire. But I don't think they're going to find a whole lot of wiggle room in this country. Once again, you and me, we're peace-loving Americans. We're law-abiding citizens. We pay our fucking taxes. We mind our own business until we don't. At some point, probably when you're sitting in traffic, stuck, because these fucking people have caused a terror event a quarter mile in front of you. They've shut down a freeway, an airport. They've destroyed a school. Who knows what they're going to do in your neighborhood? But when it happens, you're going to be like, that's it. Call the police. Are you guys doing anything about this? Are you going to fucking put an end to this? Or is it hunting season? Just asking. Just asking. Boomer, thank you, sir. All righty, Jolene. Mr. Ooman, we're at an hour and 20 minutes in. I'm full of piss and fucking vinegar. We got nearly 400 people live right there. I want you to share that internet address. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. And let's keep going. Who is next? Hey, it's my man Diorce. Half deer, half horse. with a 556 super chat donation. Uh-oh. He says, I'm your other Texan from West Texas donating. All right, folks. All right. We've got a state-by-state challenge for super chat donations, supporting this channel and supporting freedom, liberty, and calling it like it is. These leftists are scumbags, un-American traitors. So, back to Diorce, though. He says, I'm stacking up firewood for seasoning for use later this year while I listen, and long live Texas. I tell you what, folks, the Texas Republic is one of the strongest in the nation. Right? I love Texicans, folks. I love them. You guys are fucking awesome. And apparently, there is a branch of my family many generations back that split off and went down into Texas as a jarhead. When they learned my last name, non-family members said, are you one of those guys? I was like, I have no fucking clue, dudes. I'm from California. But yeah, I'm telling you, folks, the Texans, they don't care. They're defending their own. And I don't blame them. Texas is a republic. It is a republic. And I don't know if they call themselves Texicans anymore. I just like to say the word because it makes me laugh. But Texans are fucking awesome. Americans are the greatest. And I love Canadians. I love Aussies. Kiwis are fun. Right? I love the English, Scots, and Irish. We're all brothers. Right? I do love Remy Marish in the Netherlands as well. Haven't heard from Remy in a little while. But hey, folks, long live Texas. Long live freedom and liberty everywhere for all peoples of all colors. We're up for it, folks. We're into a big fucking fight. A big fight. Thank you, Diorce. Great hearing from you, man. Another Texan stepping in. Jolene. Oh, man. What do we got going? Who is next? Oh, good golly. Good golly. You're contributing to my delinquency, Blue Cord Devil. He's got another $50 super chat donation. And here it comes. Buying a scotch. And he says, this one is from Man for calling me out. Oh, is this an inside job? Is that what's going on here? Is Man challenging you guys to fuck me up? As if I'm not having enough trouble anyways. Anyways, God bless you, Blue Cord Devil. Semper Fi. Semper Fi to all. Down the hatch. God bless America. Oh, my God, another one. Woo! Thank you, Blue Cord Devil. Thank you, Man. I owe you, you nice guy. Now, I haven't picked on the fruitcakes that much in this episode of The Zoo. And like I said, I think I've made the point. You guys know, does everyone know where I stand? You guys know where I stand with regard to the LGBTQIA+. I had lunch today with a gay couple. They're gay. They never say a fucking word about it. They never make it known to anybody. They're not flaming fruitcakes. They're just people. They're probably fiscal conservative. They want to be left alone. It's not a big fucking deal. They don't bring it up. It's not a point of conversation. It's not an argument. It's not even a fucking factor. In fact, I might just be guessing. They just might be friends that show up at a party. I don't fucking know. I don't care. You see, it's right. But these other people, the ones you and I talk about, are always in our face. They're always yelling at us. They're always screaming, saying, accept us, and then use our words. Right? Anyways, love is love. That's their other saying. Love is love. Well, anyone who says love is love are a bunch of lying LGB fruits. Now, if love is love, why would a very large, big, transgender, this is a biologically male person. It's a guy with a dick pretending to be a chick. This large transgender man, well, he's a student, brutally beat the shit out of a tiny girl at a New York high school. And what happened? Well, other students filmed the attack. I actually saw this. I saw the footage. I saw it. I saw the footage on somewhere on the internet. beat the fucking shit out of this little girl. And other students decided to just film it. Oh, and then afterwards, thank you, Jolene, afterwards, a bomb threat was sent to the school. Now, aren't these homofruits, can I call them homofruits? Aren't these people supposed to coexist with us? Because, love is love. And they're friendly pedos and friendly rapists, aren't they? No. They're not just happy fun murderers. No. Folks, it's incredible. They continue to show us that they will use their size as a weapon and their so-called gender affiliation to beat up girls. Girls. How many LGB fruitcakes have you seen beating up guys? You don't. They beat up girls. Because they can say, well, I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl twisting my little. So what happens when you mix tequila and scotch? I'm just a girl. Don't beat me up. And then they beat the fuck out of little girls. Folks, they're not our friends. There is no coexisting. And anyone who films someone else beating the shit out of somebody in an unfair fight deserves to have their ass kicked. Someone should have grabbed the little girl, by her fucking hair and pulled her off and beat the shit out of her for it. Anyways, I've had it with these fucking gay people that want to press that they're gay is happy and they're full of love and love is love, and then they turn around and they continue to do this shit. They're not policing themselves any better than the so-called black communities are shutting down the racists. Right? There's a big difference to me between the black community and the racists within it. They need to shut them down. Stop calling them Uncle Toms for trying to, and bad people for trying to bring responsibility, maturity, and intelligence to the most awful people within their community. They're not Uncle Toms. They're not sellouts. They're good fucking people in the black community trying to bring order to the whole system that is being split and divided and violence being called for by the radical left. That's what's going on, folks. The radical left wants to make reasonable people look bad, and they're doing it. They're just awful. Fuck them, right? And then using your race as a shield to do the most ridiculous, stupid shit shouldn't be allowed. They need to be called out for it. Period. I don't care if you're white or red or black or yellow or white or green or whatever color. No more of this shit. Anyways, enough of that fucking soapbox. What do you guys want to talk about? It's Sunday Night Live. It's the zoo. It is Cinco de SHTF. And Jolene, where are we going now? We're at 90 minutes into the show. And good golly. Blue Cord Devil, it's going to be a rough day at work tomorrow, I'm telling you. I'm going to have to call my peeps and say, hey, look, don't expect a whole lot don't expect a whole lot of production out of this guy. It's going to be a rough night. Blue Cord Devil, Semper Fi, folks, God bless America. To freedom, to liberty, to justice. From Washington, D.C. down to the smallest jurisdiction, we're all Americans. To every other country around the world, if you want freedom, support America. The real America. And everyone knows what's going on everywhere on the planet with governments forcing down our throats, not delicious scotch. They're forcing down our throats their woke, destructive, anti-human crap, whether it's medicine, food, or their fucking politics. Here's to you, Blue Cord Devil. And I'm in big trouble now. Holy bananas. Blue Cord Devil says, I was in Ohio. He says, I'm in Ohio. Was born in Texas, was raised in Wyoming. So put me where you want on the map. I'll fight for every state is my oath. has no end date. I tell you what, I like the way you put that. What Blue Core Devil is saying is that when we stood up for whatever branch of service or job we took, when you took the oath, you raised your right hand and you swore to uphold and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, you meant it. And it didn't say until the end of my commission or the end of my enlistment or until I decide otherwise or until I decide the Democrats need to destroy this fucking country. It's forever, forever. Your oath to defend the Constitution meant not while it's comfortable or not until there's a insurmountable enemy in front of me. It's forever and always. And I would rather die on my feet fighting like a man than live as a slave on my knees kissing the feet of people who don't deserve the air they're breathing. And that's just about everyone in Washington, D.C. Folks, 10 years ago, I didn't say that. 20 years ago, it never occurred to me. 30 years ago, I would have believed it could never happen. But it's not just that there's a few bad politicians. It's far worse than that. It's not just a few bad politicians or some people in the top layers of the bureaucracy, the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, the Pentagon. They are jam-packed. They're like a cancer. And folks, I bet they're stabbing each other in the back. They're slimy, worthless fucking weasels, all of them. They're all looking to feather their own nest to get ahead. And they'll screw each other over. They're all fucked up. But for the moment, they're united against us, the real America. I pray you take your oath seriously. And if you weren't in the service and have never taken the oath to defend this country, the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, you don't have to be in the service to take that oath and mean it. And mean it. Thank you, Blue Cord Devil. Okay, Jolene, we've passed the 90-minute mark. I'll stay here as long as I can. Tonight. But normally we go 2 hours. So let's see where we end up at. Jolene, man, where are we going next? Hey, Shelly Chavers with a $20 super chat donation. And she says, I'm 60, born in Texas, and still live in Texas. God bless you, Shelly. My mother was born in Corpus Christi, Texas. She lived in Illinois and she lived in California a very long portion of her life. She briefly lived in the state of Nevada and then returned to Texas. I love my mother. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Anyways, back to Shelly Chavers. She still lives in Texas, which is awesome. Awesome. She says, that being said, there are great people everywhere. And I agree with you, Shelly. I have always felt a special sense of independence being from Texas, and I hope Texas will continue not to give in to tyranny. I'll tell you what, Texas, like every other state, including Florida, has tyrants within the government. You know it, Shelly. The piece of shit Assembly and Senate in Texas, well, there's piece of shit members within it, tried fucking over the Attorney General, Ken Paxton, for what? For trying to uphold Texas law, protect Texas sovereignty, and defend the border against illegal immigrants, and they tried screwing him over. And God bless Texas, and thank God the Senate said no, and every loser, rhino piece of shit and Democrat was told to fuck off, it ain't happening. Now, Texas needs that independent spirit. Texas is rich in resources, folks, energy resources, petroleum, gas, uranium. It's a great state. Agriculture and attitude. God bless Texas. Thank you, Shelly, for all your great support today and in the past, and everyone else. All righty, let's keep going. Jolene Uman, what do we have next? Who is up next? What are we going to talk about? It's your show. It's your show on the Prepared Mind channel. Oh, good golly, it's Soft Kitty, number 9. Well, cats have 9 lives. And I've got this. I don't know how many shots am I up to? 3 more. No, that's Jolene. Okay. Soft Kitty, $50 super chat donation. I'm fucked. Look, folks, before I lose my shit completely, please get prepared. In all sincerity, get food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. Please get your plan together. Please understand the people in your neighborhood and within a 10-mile radius of your home. Know where the colleges and universities are. Understand the police and law enforcement in your area, whether they're city or county or both. It's very important to understand their attitude towards the Constitution and the state you're in. Now, if you're in Florida or Texas or states like that, the law enforcement tends to respect the Constitution, especially the Second Amendment. Okay? Know who your threats are. Soft Kitty, Nebraska in the house. Texas. See, Soft Kitty's letting you know they're in the house. John, please pick 7 news we need to hear. Pick 7 news. I'm fucked. Thank you, Soft Kitty. I'll pick a news story you need to hear. Are you ready? University of Michigan. Police had to remove pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas, not protesters. They're fucking terrorists. They removed them. And American students, folks, Americans like me and you, shouted them down with, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, yelling at these anti-American folks. They hate America. Anti-Israel, they hate Israel. Anti-Jew, anti-white people, anti-Christian. Folks, these terrorists hate all of us over everything about us. They want to get rid of our country. They want to, what do they want to, the country, and yeah, they want to kill us. They want Sharia law. They want us on our knees facing Mecca. They want us to convert or lose our fucking heads. Okay, so in addition to the students shouting them the fuck down and the police removing them, they also put, reportedly, allegedly, they put armed police on the roof, sharpshooters, to watch over the University of Michigan graduation ceremony. Folks, it's evident to me, and it's becoming evident to the police, that supporters of Hamas and Palestine are really terrorists. And that they're just not fully violent yet. But they know it's coming. Even the FBI is telling us it's coming. We just got it reported again. Yeah, it reminded me that Joe Biden wants to bring in another 3 million people. And I forgot to address this one part of the thing, which just popped back into my head for some reason. That, yeah, no other country wants these Palestinians, even though they're Muslims. They're all Muslim, all of them. Egypt, Jordan, Syria. These people don't want Palestinians. They've blocked the border. They put up a fucking wall. They've got armed guards. They don't want them. But Joe Biden wants them. Why? They've already told us they hate America. Why? They've told us they hate our country, our Constitution, our laws. They hate white people. They want to rape white women, period. I'm sure they want to rape Latinas and Black Americans. I'm sure they'll just fucking rape you, okay? Can you imagine this? Wait a minute. Imagine this. There's a makeup pied trans person walking down the street, and a bunch of terrorist jihadis jump out and like, we're going to rape you. And then they find out it's a guy. Right? He's like, stop it. Right. And they're like, oh my God. They pull the, that's a fucking dude. That's going to be a bad day for everybody involved. I'm laughing now, but it won't be a laughing situation when it happens. Anyways, Soft Kitty, thank you very much. There's so much going on out there. Thank you, everybody, for the great support. Let us continue. Marilyn Myers is back. Marilyn, thank you. Great seeing you. Haven't seen you in, well, at least since last week. Super chat donation, $4.99. And she says, hey, John, do you really think this so-called birdie bovine cross-contamination is going to go anywhere? Or is it just another diversion or distraction? I tell you, Marilyn, what she's talking about is the avian bird flu that is supposedly not only in the chickens and turkeys, but is getting into the cow and the pork and other things. Number one, most diseases are species specific in humans or pigs or cows or chickens or deer or gazelles or zebras, right? And for it to travel from one to the other, it's called a zoonosis. Zoo, kind of like we're in the Prepared Mind's Cinco de SHTF zoo, right? This is the zoo where we get everyone together, right? Anyways, it's called zoonosis. All of a sudden, avian, which means bird flu is going from wild birds to domestic birds, from our domestic fowl population into other animals. I do not believe this is real. I believe this is bullshit. I believe it is a diversion, a distraction, and it is a ruse to get us afraid of real meat. But we should trust scientific, laboratory, Franken-fucking meat. Marilyn, that's exactly what it is to me. I don't know what your opinion is or anyone else's, but look, I'll eat the meat. I am not going to eat some lab-grown shit that I don't know what the fuck is in it, where it came from, what the ingredients are, or anything else. Period. Why should I eat that crap? Right? Okay. I mean, look, in my opinion, and I'm no doctor or scientist. I just lost where I'm at. Oh, man, help me out. Look, I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but if avian flu can go from birds to beef, it can go into lab meat. I mean, what if they deliver the wrong batch of goo to a meat factory? Are you going to eat that shit? And do they have to tell you everything they put in it? I bet they're going to put spike protein, mad cow disease, mRNA horse shit into the lab meat. And they're already threatening to put it in real beef as well, and chicken and other products. These people are trying to kill us because they know we have to eat. That's what this is about. This so-called birdie bovine cross-contamination, cross-illness sickness is an increasingly large effort to get us to eat their lab meat, bullshit chemicals, and bugs. They actually tried saying, again, that the protein in bugs is 4 times more nutritious than beef. What a fucking lie that is. If you want to be healthy, get your meat from a local butcher, even in the big cities. Folks, I was shocked and surprised to learn that Florida is a huge beef-producing state. Makes me happy. Texas is huge. California is huge. And, of course, many states in between. There's a lot of beef out there. Don't buy this shit that none of the beef is there and it's not safe. Wow. Marilyn, thank you again for your great support. We're at 1 hour and 45 minutes in. We've been hovering right at 400 people live. If you're new, make sure you've hit subscribe. Make sure you've hit subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. And if you've got something to say, you hit the super chat button, and we get your questions down here. Jolene, who is up next on the Prepared Mind channel? Oh, fucking. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Yankee Watchdog says, how rough is it going to be tomorrow? And he's laughing at me. It is going to be an extremely, extremely rough day. Tequila, shot glass, Cinco de SHTF. Right there it is. I want to thank you, Yankee Watchdog, for your great support over the years, for being a terrific smartass and a terrific and incredible American and patriot. I wish you and everyone the greatest in health, liberty, freedom, and long life. God bless America. Semper Fi. Fuck, it's making me laugh. Oh, good golly. Thank you, Yankee Watchdog. Thank you very much. Woo! Okay. And the skull and crossbones, the old Jolly Roger, you're flying that flag. There it is. Thank you, Sir Jolene. Oh, man, who's up next? And we got Opie Waddell with a $5 super chat donation. And he says, we can send you a Peppa Pig puppet to use on the show. Will you call it Prepper Pig and use it for your sarcasms? Of course. Of course. Of course. I mean, honestly, look, I'm a grown man. I'm 54 fucking years old. I've been around a few years. I'm a former Marine. I'm an American. I'm a patriot. And I've already been provided with the appropriate Duluth Beaver, and of course, from Heidi, the Trumpinator. I'll be back in 2024, Bear. I'm a grown man. Do I need stuffed toys? No. Does it make things funny? Yeah, it makes things fucking funny. It does. But look, I'm a grown man. And you guys have got me drunk as a fucking skunk. All righty. You guys, you can go down there and just hang out on the floor for a while. All right. Thank you, Opie, very much. Prepper Pig. Oh, I'm sure that I can come up with scenarios, and we'll use Prepper Pig as the butt of the joke. And butt doesn't mean that he has to be an LGB pig. All right. Thank you. Joe, if scotch is mother's milk, what's tequila? That's a Bioxo 77 super chat question. If this is mother's milk, what is this? Montezuma's Revenge is what this is. That's the best. Mother's Milk, Montezuma's Revenge. There you go. You've got it. I had to think about that. The brain is right there. All right. Thank you. I'm starting to sound and talk and feel like, who was that guy? Ooman. Ooman. He was on the Rat Pack. He was a singer with Sinatra. He was drunk all the time. In fact, he used to sing drunk all the time. My mom loved.
You thinking about Dean Martin?
Yeah, Dean Martin. Yeah, Dean Martin. He was always drunk.
Yeah, him and Sammy Davis Jr.
I love Sammy. He was awesome. He's my favorite little Jewish black guy. Remember that guy? He's Jewish. He's Jewish. He was also a quick draw artist, but he's dead. So I was going to say, don't fuck with him, but he's already dead. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Sammy Davis. Right? He's had that bottom lip kind of did that thing. Anyways, I loved him in Cannonball Run. That had Sammy and Dean Martin. It was Dean Martin?
Yes. In the Ferrari. In the priest suits.
That's right. They were priests in the red Ferrari.
So they could spread the word of God faster.
God is our co-pilot. And they're like, he slapped him. Bam. And he's like, how many seats does the car have? Where's he going to sit? Anyways, I think that was it. Dean, what am I thinking? Who's the one I'm thinking of? If it's not Dean Martin. Who's the funny guy with the telethon?
Jerry Lewis?
Jerry Lewis is funny, but he was not part of the Rat Pack and wasn't drunk all the time. He's just stupid.
Yeah, but he had the telethon.
Yeah, he had the telethon. Okay, yeah. There you go. There it is. All right, folks. I'm okay. Uh-oh.
That scotch and tequila is short-circuiting some brain cells, I think, my friend. and you're not done yet.
Don't know. Okay, folks. Folks, look, get prepared. Serious message. Jolene, who's up next? Blue Cord Devil with a $50 super chat donation says, well, the family is talking about a new record, so figured you might need something to eat. Oh, you fucking fucker. There's a lot of crayons there. I get it. It's a Marine joke about eating crayons. Well, I'll tell you what. I've eaten my fair share of crayons, my fair share of sand, my fair share of shit, and I'm still not going to give up on America. Do I have to take another drink? I am good to my word. Ooman is correct. You should see him on his screen down below. I've got the big screen. Ooman has a little screen. Because he does. Okay, now listen. I'm not going to eat crayons in front of people because children might be watching, but I'll drink my scotch. I don't want children to start a bad habit of eating crayons. You never know where those crayons have been, especially if it's at a school where the teachers have hair colors other than their own. Blue Cord Devil, you done me in. Good thing I'm 280 pounds and a professional. You know, the good news is I'm going to have to get another bottle because this is almost done. Good golly. Folks, look. Sorry, I'm losing my stuff here. Cerveza bug. You guys remember that stuff, right? Cerveza bug. We're all going to die. It's got like a 25% death rate. And if you don't die from it, you're going to be hospitalized on a ventilator. You're going to kill your family. Grandma and grandpa gone. We're all going to die. Hide in your houses, for Pete's sake. Tape up the fucking windows. Don't talk to anybody. Remember that? Oh, man, do you remember that? How they were trying to scare us? Cerveza bug. The cities were locked down. The fucking streets were empty. And then we found out the triage tents and the hospitals were fucking empty, even though they showed us body bags piled in a room. And it's like, you can't keep body bags in a room. They'll blow up because hot bodies, the bacteria reproduce and create gas and bodies explode. If you've ever seen a dead deer on the side of the road, I know this is a terrible story. They kind of bloat up. Their legs like stick out. And they're like, because they're dead. You got to put them in really cold, almost freezing situation and environment. Anyways, we're all going to die. No one died. They couldn't even fake deaths. The fucking cadavers were moving. Anyways, after that shit happened for a while, Then they told us, you need to get the Jim Jones juice. And if you don't do it, you're not American. If you don't take the Jim Jones juice, you're going to kill your grandma, kill your children. You're going to kill other people. You're going to kill the president. You're a scumbag. You're a criminal. No, Jolene, this is awesome, or this is terrible, right? Okay, that's what they told us. If you don't take the Jim Jones juice, well, guess who has let us know that it wasn't such a smart fucking thing to do after all? None other than scumbag Chris Cuomo, the charlatan, carpetbagging sack of shit, former CNN anchor who screamed that it needed to be mandatory. Said you're an awful person, you're murdering, right? These fucking people. You go to a store, you're not wearing a mask. Yeah. If you don't take the Jim Jones juice, you should have all your privileges revoked, your bank account canceled, you should lose your job. Remember these fucking people? Remember them? Well, Chris Cuomo has come out and publicly admitted that he has suffered a Jim Jones juice injury. Well, I guess the dumb fucker took his medicine, didn't he? And now he's paying the price. He has an injury. Okay. With some background messages from Ooman and Jolene. Anyways, Chris Cuomo is now fucked up from the Jim Jones juice. Now, the dumb fucker got his medicine, didn't he? And he paid the price, didn't he? Yeah, you bet he did. We were harassed. We were threatened with you'll lose your jobs, you'll lose your contracts, you'll lose everything. You'll get kicked out of the military. You'll lose your fucking business. We'll shut you down. We were harassed and threatened for refusing the Jim Jones juice, were we not? But we aren't fucked up now, and we aren't dead. We win. Same thing with the World Economic Forum, Washington, D.C. lying sacks of shit, like Joe Biden, the FBI, the Attorney General's office, the CIA, Department of Homeland Security, National Security Administration, the DNI, whatever the fuck that is, Director of National Intelligence, all of these left-wing scumbags. Oh, including the loser Lloyd Austin, who's Secretary of Defense, who now has a bunch of cancer that apparently is a problem. I don't wish death on anyone, folks. They brought it upon themselves. I ain't shitting you. Okay. We're at an hour and 58 minutes. We go 2 hours normally. This has been an amazing Cinco de SHTF show. Chris Cuomo, good luck with your vaccine injury, you cocksucker. And your whole family can go to hell. Okay, if you don't know who the Cuomos are, folks, C-U-O-M-O. Look them up. They've been in politics in New York City the same way the Daley family has been in politics in Chicago. You read about them and decide whether or not they're good guys or not. All righty. I don't know if I should dare to do this. Jolene and Ooman, we have more super chats. Yankee Watchdog, $5 super chat, says, I'm not as think as you drunk I am. I'm not as drunk. You're funny. I tell you what, folks, I've always been what I consider to be someone who has fun when they drink. Not an abusive, loud dickhead who gets into fights and stuff. I'm a fun guy. Not a fungus, a fun guy. But I'm also very serious about prepping in America, our nation, our liberties, the Constitution, and you being prepared. I love you all. Now, thank you, Yankee Watchdog. Jolene, who's up next? I thought Nikki liked me. Doing stuff with Nikki. Actually, I know Nikki likes me. Nikki is a good American person. She lives in Florida too. Anyways, she says, hee, sleep tight, darling. You're welcome. Thank you, Nikki. Love you very much. And I hope, all right, fun guys, stop. I can't take this. I can't do this. I'm so fucked up. Jolene, would you call my boss, please? Tell him I won't be coming in the morning. Oh, God, that's good, though. It is so good. It's to be a Scotsman. I'm an American. But good God, Nikki. Why? I thought you liked me. Why? Why? No. Thank you, Nikki. Okay. This is a show about prepping, about shit hitting the fan, about America. Look, folks, the Virginia State Police, wearing full riot gear, pepper sprayed, tackled, beat the shit out of pro-Hamas terrorists at their tent city. Terrorists should be arrested and deported, in my opinion. I don't even know where the fuck this happened at. University of Virginia? I'm trying to remember. Yes, Virginia State Police, right? Because the terrorists there at their encampment decided to be stupid. Interesting, in the summer of love 2020. Oh. The summer of love 2020. The police did not stand their ground. They were pushed back and back until they were back against the wall, and they didn't arrest people seriously. They didn't beat the shit out of them. They're doing it now, right? The University of Virginia State Police at the University of Virginia, the protesters, and I've got a news story up on my thingy now. That's why I can read this. They said, UPD, KKK, IDF, you're all the same. UPD is the University Police Department, but they were joined by the Virginia State Police, this is what they think. They lumped them together. The Ku Klux Klan, which are a racist group of Democrats, started by Democrats, a racist group of Democrats. The KKK, and then the IDF, which is the Israeli Defense Force, who the pro-Hamas people say are committing genocide, even though every year the Palestinian people in Gaza increase their population. When you do genocide, it goes the other way. But they're increasing. So how's it genocide when they're increasing? You know, see what I'm saying, do you? And then they put in with these supposed non-genocidal genociders and the Ku Klux Klan, they put in the police department. Understand, folks, they can, if they want, overrun the police. They can at least overwhelm the police to the degree that the police cannot help you. You need to be prepared for the day when the police once again say, you are on your own. Now, look, there's a difference between terrorist protesters and all the trouble they cause and, say, the power grid coming down. If the power grid comes down, or the water is shut off, or there's no gasoline being delivered, you can call the police all day long, and they don't care about the water, the power, or the gasoline, or food in grocery stores. That's not their job. Their job is to serve and protect donuts. I mean, serve and protect the peace. Fucking donuts slipped out of my mouth. Anyways, the point is, fuck? Oh, yeah, you're on your own. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. Okay. You're on your own. Please get prepared. See how serious I am? Prepared. Okay. We're 2 hours and 5 minutes. Do we have more super chat donations out there? Apparently, we have a $50 super chat PayPal from C. It says, for a little hair of the dog, for a little of the hair of the dog that bit you, and a great show. This has been an amazing show and a great show. And there's a lot of hair on this fucking dog. And I want to thank you, C, for making sure that we're good. This is almost the end of the scotch. Semper Fi, thank you. I am in big trouble. And I will accept full responsibility for the consequences of my choices. But right now, Semper Fi, Godspeed. So, the more you drink, the better it gets. But I know I am not going to do good. Okay, Mr. Uman and Jolene. I know we've gone past 2 hours. I have a lot of news stories. Are we... Now my computer is not working. There we go. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay, Jolene Uman, super chat donation. What do we have next? Who's up? What do they have to say? Blue Cord Devil has a $50 super chat donation. He says, just so you remember me all day tomorrow. I have a feeling I'm going to remember you all night, too. All of you. I love you all very much. This has been a crazy Cinco de SHTF. And what was the coffee company that was good to the last drop? Well, we're right there. We're just under the very last shot of this. Glenlivet 15. I gotta go. Oh, Jesus. Thank you, Blue Cord Devil. You are a nice guy. Okay, 344 people. That's a lot of fucking people to watch me drunk as a fucking skunk. Are you prepared? Have you helped your family get prepared? Your friends, your coworkers? Do you understand where we're at in this fucking game? Right? All these students in colleges that are fighting back, they're nobody. Okay, everyone wants to praise them and kiss their asses. Great. Praise them and kiss their asses. But remember, this is a couple of colleges. Even Rutgers has now stood up to these scumbag terrorists. And they wave flags and they sing the American anthem, the national anthem, along with all the other colleges. There's still a tiny percentage of the country. We will not be saved by frat boys, trust me. But they're setting a good example for other children and young people. And they're setting a good example for us older folks. Get active. Take a fucking chance. Do something to help protect this country. Let your politicians know. Let your politicians know we're not going to tolerate this shit. This election needs to be honest. Because we're watching. But don't expect them to give us an election without a bunch of false flags, threats, and other harassment. Folks, chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine. Yeah, folks. Oh, by the way, there is a medicine issue. I don't want to. Before I end the show, there is a drug shortage that is now not only being exacerbated by the Chinese and the import issue, and that the fucking EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, is now involved in a national drug shortage crisis. Look, folks, they want a normal medication shortage, but they want, and what's going to happen as a consequence of that? Deaths. But don't worry, there's plenty of Jim Jones juice for everybody for free. And no one's buying it. These pharmaceutical companies are losing money now. Good. And be sure and boycott him and hers, because the CEO of that company said, I'll hire Hamas protesters. Well, their stocks have dropped in value, and they're going the way of Bud Light. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Godspeed. Semper Fi. And God bless America.